No,
not yet.
Okay.
Now we're live.
Okay. Oh yeah, things have come up in the top left corner. So yeah, I didn't get any of this detail when I was on my phone last week.
Oh, did you not?
Yeah, you don't see any of that. But now I can see comments and reactions and viewers.
Oh,
it's all going on.
We can both be reading now.
Oh no!
So welcome to Zero Viewers currently to our second live theme park traders show, where we're going to be talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the Disney Fox merger, and a special Harry Potter event. What could that be?
Secretive.
We'll never tell. Well, we will a little bit later. So, Galaxy's Edge. I'm gonna try this thingamajiggy again.
Oh, you're gonna go for it again?
Does that work?
I don't know. Oh yeah, here we go. It flashed up with something, then it went, and now it's back.
We're in. It's working. I mean, we should double check that we are actually appearing live.
I can see it on the left. Yeah.
Oh, you can see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's working.
Cool. That's good. This is good news. Oh, someone is viewing us.
That's probably me.
Brilliant. Well,
who knows? Let's crack on, shall we?
Yeah, let's go into Star Wars. So the first thing is Disney suddenly went from no news on Galaxy's Edge to let's throw everything at people in one single week.
Yeah, in one post.
Yeah, I know but then they kind of split their news across several different websites, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know why. They've kind of. I think D23 has the most comprehensive post about it. The Disney Parks blog is surprisingly lacking.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think they just can't be asked anymore.
And then the Star Wars site, StarWars.com, is kind of in the middle. I like how they said they were invited to a special preview of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm assuming this is the official site. So it's okay.
It's brilliant, isn't it? That's how bad Disney have got now, where Star Wars, who are owned by Disney, now have to get invited by Disney to go and view something that's Star Wars, which is Disney. It's crazy. And they're like, oh, we got invited to this exclusive event that's all about us.
They almost seemed shocked. Like, oh my God, last time we weren't invited.
It's crazy, isn't it? I'm just going to point out to people viewing that I have made an effort this week on the camera front. So this is with the new ring lights, apparently they call it.
Okay.
And this is what happens if I turn the ring light off. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, mama.
That's fairly, yeah. There you go. I can see your face now.
There is a difference there.
Let's turn it off.
Yeah, probably for the best, to be fair. So, Galaxy's Edge. Let's start on StarWars.com because I think they laid out things in quite a nice way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem when I'm reading on multiple tabs. I can't see comments. So if you've got two screens, Dan, you see any comments coming, please. So I'm just there on my lonely MacBook. You're sitting there all minority reporting it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got Tom Cruise underneath his after?
He's doing things.
Oh God. Oh dear.
I didn't say what he's doing. He's running. That's all he does.
That's all he does. Yeah, the Tom Cruise.
And he's quite small, so he can run for miles under that desk. It's quite a big desk. So.
How long before we get Tom Cruise in a Star Wars movie?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess it's when the Ewoks come back.
Does anyone run? I mean, people run in that film, don't they?
Harrison Ford tried in Force Awakens, but you can tell the joints were getting to him. Come on,
I mean, who looked smoother? Was it C-3PO or Harrison Ford running?
I think C-3PO moves a lot more fluidly than Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So, apparently StarWars.com say 27 things they've learned about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
That's a little bit worrying, but okay.
Yeah.
They didn't know it before, did they? First they heard about it was when the Disney Parks blog posted.
Wait, you're doing a land on this franchise?
It's the first we knew. Somebody could have sent us the memo. God.
So we're just going to run through some of these, and some of them we would have heard before, but I think some of the bits and pieces have a little bit more info that we didn't necessarily know, or if we didn't know, I've just forgotten about them. So the first one is you will fly the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. The Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is obviously one of two what they call anchor attractions. And it's
the two attractions, isn't it? So
I know. I mean, they needed like 4, didn't they?
I mean, 4 would be great. Add another 3 years to the development.
Yeah. Simon's internet's just gone. Simon, no. Yeah, so they've got 6 seats in the cockpit of the Falcon.
Yeah.
They seem to have added another 4 to what the actual ship's design is. So there we go.
I think aren't there more than 2 anyway? Because I thought there were 4, but because isn't in one of the films, I can't remember what it's one of the original trilogies. Aren't there like Han and Chewie piloting, and then you've got Luke and Leia sat behind them?
Oh, you might be right.
Maybe.
Actually.
But yeah, I don't think there's 6. There's certainly not room enough for 6. I don't think.
No, I mean no way. But I mean Disney will make room.
Yeah.
2 people just lying down in the back.
I think maybe they consulted like EasyJet or something, and so like how can we get the most number of people into a cockpit?
Ryanair, just like cram them in the luggage storage.
Standing remotely.
Put them underneath people. I mean, much like Tom Cruise with you now. Just
exactly.
Chuck them underneath.
He's running around. He's having a great time. You know, he's got nothing better to do.
Exactly. So yeah, they say it's a completely interactive experience. So you're going to fly it, fire its cannons, and manage its controls. Right. So
mission space then.
Yeah, well, what they say. So if you don't fire and hit the TIE fighter that's coming after you, it may get some shots and create some damage on the ship that then you have to fix. If you don't fly right to avoid the oncoming whatever, you smash into a wall. Your ship is going to fly right and smash into that wall. You're truly in control of what happens on your mission. So what happens then in the first 30 seconds of the ride, if you crash into a wall, they're like, "Well, ride's over. Sorry guys, you queued 8 hours for nothing."
Game over. They just make it almost impossible to avoid the rock or whatever it is, and the ride's over in 10 seconds.
They basically go, so how many? Two. Okay, come this way. Right, we need 2 Japanese and we need 2 Spanish-speaking people. Well done, guys. You're in the crew, and you've all got to work together as a team. On you go.
Good luck.
And you just
you take off, and they just go. Poof.
Yeah, they're speaking to you. Yeah, so you've got 2 Spanish, 2 English, and 2 Japanese, and the ride audio is in Italian. And you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, they got to get the throughput, somehow get that throughput up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew about that most of that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
What I think we that is new is the next point is on the rise of the resistance. So they say that it's a time when the resistance is back on their heels. They're a rare care group, and they're looking to rebuild. This is our opportunity to join the resistance. My problem with that is I don't really give a shit about the resistance. First Order are much cooler. I'm just saying. It's the same with the Empire then. No, why is there not a ride where you get to be the bad guys? Have one where you get to be good, one where you get to be bad. Why can't they cater for people that actually want to be the First Order?
Yeah, that's very true. Because you think at the end of the day, there's going to be people that either side.
Yeah. Craig's in bed.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I can see you, but I can't hear you. I'm worried is that a case of our sound's not working, or Craig just watching us with the sound off, which either is slightly worrying.
Simon hasn't said anything, so
if anyone else is watching, please comment to say if you can hear us, just in case our sound has suddenly gone. Because this is still only week 2, we're still testing this tech out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want, I'd like to just be a member of the First Order, maybe. But yeah, there
Maybe
you
you can, maybe they're gonna sort of mix that in somewhere. Although it's called Rise of the Resistance, so probably not.
I know. So there you encounter the First Order's Dark Enforcer. If you survive and make it home, you might become a Resistance hero.
So you meant to think that's not serious, but maybe it is.
I don't want to be a Resistance
You may
hero.
not make it out alive.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. The audience of wanting to be the bad guy clearly isn't big enough. Yes, it is, Hans. I mean, I want to be the bad guy. Dan wants to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, his volume's turned down to 0 because he's in bed.
So he's literally just watching us in bed, watching our faces.
watching our faces. I tell you what, look, Craig, I can turn the mood lighting on for you here. Ready? Ooh.
What was that?
I have different
Or what is this? The ring light?
yeah, it has different
Oh, okay,
settings.
fancy.
No, it's cool, isn't it?
It's pretty good for £26, wasn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah.
So the next one is, apparently we're going to encounter BB-8, Finn, Poe, and Rey on Rise of the Resistance, with all of the main cast reprising their roles, as you would expect, considering they probably filmed this at the same time as either The Last Jedi, or this untitled Star Wars film that's currently just finished filming. BB-8 will be live and in person.
Yeah, it's going to make another appearance. I mean, on one of the on one of the posts, I can't remember which one it is. They say that they were pleasantly surprised that all these film stars wanted to appear on the ride because they're fans too. Yeah. I mean, they're not contractually obliged or anything like that. They're fans. They want to do it.
Yeah, it's not part of their contract. They do anything that Disney tells them to do.
Yeah.
Evening, Josh. Thanks for joining the show. We're just talking Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and all the latest news that's come out over the last week, which is why you can see this title. Yeah.
All fancy like.
I know. It's almost like we kind of know what we're doing. Almost. So I'm assuming BB-8 is going to act like Rocket Raccoon does in Mission Breakout, where he's just going to be there in some kind of pre-show.
Yeah, I'm assuming if he's like a physical, although I suppose he could be part of the ride because it's all like physical effects, isn't it? I don't know how much screen content, if any, there's going to be. But it might be a mix. Like first one that comes to mind is the Harry Potter one in Universal.
I would like this to be a Star Wars version of the Great Movie Ride. Can you imagine that? That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's not going to be, but
not in like they're showcasing different scenes. It will be you're going through this story, and it's a mix of say screens and live actors.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay, that's what you mean. Right.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because you could, in that case, you could have BB-8 in the ride and not necessarily just part of the background as part of the pre-show or anything like that.
But I mean, as Josh just said there, can we just appreciate the animatronic? Yeah, I mean, Hondo looks incredible. If you've not seen it, go and Google it after the show, after this is finished. Go and Google the Hondo animatronic because it looks insane. It just looks.
But he's not part of this one, is he? He's not part of Rise of Resistance. He's part of Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, that's right. Which makes sense because he's a pirate. So
your audio is a bit murky, apparently.
Oh dear, that's not good, is it?
Is it coming out your headphones? Is that where it's?
Maybe?
Because when you walked into your lounge, I could still hear you.
Oh. That's not good, is it?
I mean, it's lucky you didn't say anything weird, but you were just talking to your dog.
Yeah, I was, yeah. I don't know how to change that in the actual settings of this app.
I don't know, you're on a Mac, aren't you? So I have no idea.
Christ alive on a stick. We'll get there, don't worry. We'll get there. Sound preferences, here we go. This is what we do live on the show.
I don't know how loud that is. Munchies.
There we go. That may have fixed it. Is that any better?
Don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
Hans, let me know if that's any better. I hope they have fixed it. So yeah, the animatronics here is insane. Like so, and yeah, because it makes sense because Hondo is a pirate, so it makes total sense for him to be in Smuggler's Run.
I think I read that he's basically the one that gives you the mission.
Right. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So this is I've got chocolate in my teeth. This is Disney's new animatronic, isn't it?
Yeah.
The A1000.
Yeah, which I'm interested to see, like, whether they use that, where else they start using it.
Yeah, because they were saying that they were already working on it beforehand anyway, and they said that is it Hondu or Hondo? Hondo.
I can't remember.
We'll call him Honda.
Honda, yeah.
Yeah. He's not the only one, and they said there's going to be others, but they haven't said where. So.
Okay, cool.
I wondered whether Kylo Ren in Rise of the Resistance could be. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's quite easy to do because he's wearing a mask.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly. They don't have to do so many facial movements unless they want him to look like Adam Driver.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just checking my sound myself.
Simon says it's better than my internet. He's not having a good time with it.
No, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, it sounds like my audio is kind of okay now, so I'm just gonna push forwards. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other animatronics they've got.
Yeah, and how many.
So the other thing that they said that we kind of knew already was that which Galaxy's Edge takes place during the sequel trilogy, The Doy.
Yeah, which is kind of obvious considering the previous one they've mentioned. Finn, Poe, BB-8. Well. Sorry, say that again?
We've known for a while that Ride is called Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. So nothing too surprising there, is it?
Yeah, I know, exactly. So they also said there's 2 new ships at the Black Spire outpost. You'll spot a new TIE fighter previously seen and a newly created shuttle, the ITS, or Inter-System Transport Ship, which will start your mission for Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, so the TIE Echelon, that's, I did see it somewhere, it's around the opening of a shop, I think. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
Cargo, maybe?
There's a lot of shops going on, isn't there?
There's a lot of shops. I counted 7. Although some of them aren't shops, some of them are stalls and things like that. But there's still a fair few. They're really going to town on merchandise, aren't they? Yeah, I can't remember where I read that, but the TIE Echelon is tied in with one of the shops.
Yeah, it's weird that they've got. I guess it kind of makes sense what they're doing there.
With what? With the
TIE fighter.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if part of it's going to be taken over by the First Order, perhaps, or maybe the whole.
What part of the area?
Maybe the whole area is like owned by the First Order, and part of what you're doing is to try and take it back.
Although I can't remember. There's so many posts and so many words. I'm sure one of them says that it's a bit of an abandoned place in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. That's why the Resistance are there, because they're like hiding out almost.
That makes
sense. Yeah, I can't remember where I read that. It's too many words. But there is some kind of First Order element there going on there, because you've got First Order Cargo, which is one of the shops, and I think that's the one with the TIE fighter.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, but most of it seems to be a resistance kind of area.
Yeah, so Josh says he swears half the Galaxy's Edge is split between both the First Order and the Resistance. I guess that would make sense.
There certainly seems to be more talk of the resistance side of things, but I don't know what the split is. Although in the shop, which we'll get to later, you can make your lightsabers. You can have Sith or Jedi lightsabers.
But I mean, I don't get that because you can make a lightsaber now in Hollywood studios. Unless these are actually going to be like decent lightsabers that aren't cheap plastic, I don't really see the point of this.
Yeah, I kind of get the impression that they might be a little bit more detailed.
Yeah, I mean,
like they talk about the kyber crystals from that side of things as well. So whether you get to choose your kyber crystal and put it in and all this sort of stuff. So whether they might be a little bit more advanced, but obviously that's going to come at a price, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, you can imagine them if they look like the decent lightsabers that you can buy now, plus Disney's price tags. You're probably talking maybe around $100 ish.
Yeah.
So that will be quite intense. Josh says there's rumors of a First Order stage show.
Right. Okay.
Just set up Phasma there instead of making her parade down the main.
Making her parade down the main street, whatever it's called. It's not called Main Street, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I don't really care about stage shows.
Here's what's there for me. Like if they've got Kylo Ren like cutting down some kids that are dressed as Jedi, then I'm all for it.
With a real lightsaber, they've invented a very real lightsaber. It'll be a massacre.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'd like them to do some proper special effects, and if it was a decent Star Wars show that looked like they were using the Force and there was some like explosions and all kinds of cool stuff going on. Like imagine like an Indiana Jones epic stunt spectacular, but Star Wars.
Yeah, you reckon they'd be able to get away with? You'd be able to do quite a lot of physical effects these days. You'd have thought.
Yeah, I mean, I am disappointed because I mean, we're talking about it, obviously it being set in the sequel trilogy. I am disappointed in some respect that there's no reference to the Clone Wars and there's no reference to the original Empire and Rebellion. I think they have missed a little bit of a trick by not including some of that.
Yeah,
but
I guess it's difficult to set it across quite a large timeline, though, isn't it?
Well, this is it. But this is what we were talking about on the podcast a few weeks ago, whereby in a couple of years' time, you're going to have 3 Galaxy's Edge in 3 different parts of the world. 2 in America, one in Paris. There was that opportunity to do one Galaxy's Edge for each era of the Star Wars saga. So they have missed it there, I think. But I mean, they say here, number 6 is Galaxy's Edge was designed to be, and this is what I love the choice of wording, somewhat future-proof. So, the land can go in terms of story anywhere Star Wars takes it. The place and the attractions have been built, but everything that you can populate it with can be refreshed, can be updated, can be changed, can be integrated. Well, I don't think that's quite true. The attractions have been built around a specific era. I don't think that's very likely to. I mean, I guess they might update a couple of the characters that are patrolling around, but
I mean, you can imagine Smuggler's Run would be relatively easy to update if they're going to update that. Rise of Resistance, very much not so, considering there's a lot of physical effects by the sounds of it. Obviously, you've got the massive AT-ATs that they're not going to change those anytime soon. They're probably also talking about like the background, the shops, the restaurants. They can probably change a lot of that stuff, which is obvious. They can change that. They can change the menu items. They can change the things that they sell. They can change even the layout of the shops, the design of the shops, relatively easily. It doesn't seem like there's anything new about that compared to any other land that they have in the parks at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess related to the lightsaber thing earlier, if you want to create your own BB or R2 unit, well, you're in luck because you can build your own droid PAL, mixing and matching parts at the Droid Depot. Unsurprising, another money grabbing opportunity from Disney, and again something that has existed in the past. So again, not something that I'm particularly excited for there.
Yeah, I mean, when there's a picture on, I'm just trying to find it. There's a picture on the D23 website with the Droid Depot, and they've just got like a picture with 3 different coloured BB-8s, 2 different R2D2s, and then 2 other droids that I'm not familiar with the names of. So presumably you'll just be able to mix and match parts of them just to make a different multicoloured BB-8 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and I think that it wouldn't surprise me if they just kind of like feel quite cheap plastic.
I think they will be, yeah.
I'm sure they won't be cheap, but the feel of them, it feels like they could be cheap, because obviously they need to be interchangeable. They need to be like relatively fluid things. So it feels like they're going to be a bit tacky almost.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then related to that, go to Bina's creature store. She loves to travel around the galaxy and collect different creatures, and she brings them back here to Batuu. Is it Batuu? Batuu?
I guess Batuu.
Batuu. So creatures for sale include Tauntauns, Rathars, and more. Again, they're cuddly toys, for Christ's sake. I'm not interested.
Yeah, they're a mix of plushes and like rubber toys by the looks of it. Yeah. Obviously, you can buy a. I can't think of the names. What's the ones from?
The Banshees.
No, the ones that are on Luke's Island.
Oh, Porgs.
Porgs, that's the ones. Yeah, you could buy a plush one of those, obviously, which you can already buy, I think, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
And yet, somewhere on these posts, they said all of these things have been made specifically for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, that's nonsense, isn't it?
Pretty sure you can buy a plush Porg at the moment.
So Josh says, new for Galaxy's Edge, build your own deck, and don't forget 5% annual pass discount. Yeah, definitely going to happen.
Very true. I mean, all of these things. There's, I don't know where it is on the list. I don't know if they have it in this 27 list, but the clothing one.
Oh, yeah.
They've got pictures of you can buy Jedi robes and Sith robes, and some of them are proper weird. Like, you can imagine people buying the robes, fine, you know. It's like buying the Harry Potter robes, isn't it? They're going to be expensive. But some of them are like a first order, like lieutenant, say. Why would you buy that?
I'm going to buy it.
I want to be a middle management person in the first order. That's my dream.
I'm a pencil pusher for the first order.
Yeah.
And I love it.
There's some really weird looking clothes as well that you can't imagine people buying and wearing every day. Like there's a jacket, an orange jacket that looks like something a X-wing fighter would wear.
Yeah.
It's like, when are you going to wear that?
I'll wear it.
Yeah, I know you will. Yeah, but
I would.
But yeah, some of them some of it seems like an odd things. But all of them are going to be expensive, aren't they? Especially the Jedi robes.
Oh, 100%. They're going to be.
If the Harry Potter ones are anything to go by, the Jedi ones are only going to be more expensive.
And then related to that is the blue milk. It's going to be on sale, but they've said it's not actually milk. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, it's plant-based, isn't it?
Yeah, but they say if you're walking around Florida, the last thing you want is a glass of milk. Why? Like you can have ice cold milk and be refreshed by that.
I don't know. Does it go like into extreme heat? Does it go pretty disgusting quite quickly?
Well, yeah, if you keep it outside of a fridge, but I mean, you don't like.
No, but if you're walking around
out in the sun for 20 minutes, do you?
Yeah, if you're walking around with it, you know, don't know. I guess as well, the kind of in one of the posts it said the kind of the attraction is, I guess it opens it up to a wider audience, doesn't it? Because obviously you've got lactose intolerance.
Vegans will probably be okay drinking this as well.
Yeah, it appeals to a wider audience, doesn't it? And, I mean, whether it because I can't.
You can buy it in blue and green. It's going to be apparently cool and refreshing. Is what they've described it as.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're touching on some of the other cool things because I mean we could talk for hours about the stuff that they revealed, but I think the other cool things is it's going to be like a barbecue place. The barbecue is themed on like a refurbished pod racer engine.
Yeah, Ronto Racers, Ronto
Yeah,
Roasters. Sorry, that's it.
which I think sounds really cool.
Yeah, I get the impression it's a quick service.
Yeah,
I
I got that
think.
impression.
Yeah, I read something about turkey jerky. I think they're going to be serving along with, amongst other things, exotic meats.
Exotic meats,
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah, chicken.
So it says here, Ronto Roasters Ronto Wrap is filled with spiced grilled sausage and roasted pork. I mean, that's not exotic meat, is it? Let's be honest.
No, it's not exactly pushing the boundaries, is it?
There's going to be an animatronic sleeping loft cat, which is going to be in, I think, the creature place.
Oh, okay, right.
There's a toy shop run by female toydarian Zabaka.
I like this. I can't remember which post it was. I think it was the D23 post. Oh no, sorry, it was the Disney Parks blog. They say there's several market stalls. One of them is the Toydarian Toy Maker, in brackets, toys.
Yeah,
really?
Like people will get confused.
You couldn't work that out from the name.
Yeah, you couldn't work out that a toy makers make toys.
Yeah, and his name is Toydarian.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
they really dropped the ball on the creature one, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
it's literally called Creature Stall.
Yeah, I mean they just assume that the general theme park visitor is an idiot, don't they? Which isn't untrue. But Rise of the Resistance is gloriously long. So we've heard reports that this attraction is about half hour. I think it's about half hour, wasn't it?
Really?
But I think that's going to include several pre-shows.
Right. Okay. So if they're counting it from start to finish.
Yeah, but Disney haven't confirmed this yet. But I mean, StarWars.com are saying that it's gloriously long. So,
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be difficult if it was really long, because it's like a constant moving ride, presumably. You can't. I imagine it's quite easy to just throw in more cars as long as they don't kind of back up, and you end up seeing part of the previous car, or the car in front of you. You see part of their experience, as long as that's not the case. You can't imagine they've done it like that.
I think there's some other cool stuff. So, like Rex from Star Tours is going to be there as a DJ, I think, which is cool. It's going to be full of Easter eggs. Cast members are going to be walking among you, so they're going to be kind of hidden away and also interacting with you and that kind of thing, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah. They're going to be dressed up as villagers, aren't they? Of what is it, the Black Spire Outpost?
The thing is, though, that's all great on paper, but when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens, you're not going to really care about talking to these people. You're going to want to run to Smuggler's Run or Rise of the Resistance and do one of those attractions. I think they will really come into their own in maybe 2 to 3 years' time, when you're actually, hopefully it's a little bit quieter and you're wanting to get something else from that land, and you're starting to kind of maybe take in the story a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I like your optimism that you're actually going to be able to run anywhere in this in this land.
You'll be able to shuffle slowly
in an organized fashion through one of the. They say Disney, the Galaxy's in Disneyland has got 3 entrances, and in Disney World it's got 2.
Yeah.
And they said, what was it? It was kind of like funneled so that your view is like a cinematic experience when you first enter. But it's not going to be when you first enter, is it? All you're going to see is a sea of heads in front of you.
I mean, I think that funneled is one word for it.
Crowd controlled is another.
Yeah, crowd control is the word I was looking for. That in reality is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about with Galaxy's Edge? I mean, there's so much detail. There's so much going on.
It's pretty crazy. Yes, yeah, there's quite a lot of alcoholic drinks in what is it? Oga?
Yeah, so
Ogre's Cantina.
yeah, so
And
I think that's going to be a really cool place to go. But again, you're just not going to be able to move, which is I think it's
no,
just going to be really tough.
the one thing that stood out to me in the menu from Ogre's Cantina is
Yeah.
a non-alcoholic beverage called Jabba juice.
Ooh.
Like, is that the juice of Jabba the Hutt?
They just squeeze his tail and it just goes.
It's like meet the fuckers. You know, you can milk anything with a as nipples.
Oh yeah, just milking and Jabba's nipples. That's what's going on.
I am really
I,
concerned about
some of the alcoholic drinks sound pretty weird. So they've got Bespin Fizz. Okay, this one sounds weird. Bloody Rancor. Bloody Rancor.
that.
Or is it going to be bloody Rancor, like looking like this, just nice and red? Then they've got Dagobah Slugslinger, a Fuzzy Tauntaun,
That sounds
Jedi
real
Mind
dodgy.
Trick. A Fuzzy Tauntaun, yeah.
Yeah, the
Sounds like
Jedi
you
mind
think
trick
there's a
sounds like
fuzzy
they
sauce.
just spiked your drink,
Yeah.
but they're selling it to
You
you.
will go home and rethink your life. The Outer Rim. I mean, these all sound like things that I would potentially be getting involved in on a Friday night. The
What about the Yub Nub?
T16 Skyhopper and Yubnub.
Where that is.
Yeah, it all sounds very odd. I mean, but basically, it's just going to be like vodka mixed with some kind of coloured drink, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, from the pictures on the D23 website, everything is like bright coloured. There's no artificial colourings in any of these, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but one of the drinks has the little orb things from that you see in Avatar.
Dober balls.
Okay.
Dober balls.
Yeah,
Or,
one of them
or
has
in
that.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Boba Fett balls, I'm sure.
Yeah, Bobber's balls.
Boba's
Yeah.
balls. Han says, how long does it usually take for the new ride hype to die down? Good question. So Pandora opened almost 2 years ago, and the queue for Flight of Passage still is regularly over 2 hours to 3 hours.
I was just going to go and see what it was actually on the app, assuming it's working.
I saw it the other day, and it was like 3.5 hours. And Pandora, I mean, nobody cares about Avatar really, not in comparison to Star Wars. So I would expect Star Wars queue times to be 5 hours plus for the next 2 to 3 years, if I'm being honest.
It will be on another level. So yeah, Flight of Passage at the moment is 2.5 hours.
So 2.5 hours on a franchise that, let's be honest, nobody cares about. And the ride is fantastic. It's one of the best rides in Disney World, but nobody cares about the franchise. Now, we're going to assume that both of these new attractions are going to be the two best attractions in Disney World, and they're Star Wars, which is perhaps the biggest franchise in the world. Maybe not so much anymore, but it's still up there. Yeah. I think we're looking at 5 hours plus for the next 2 years on both attractions, without a doubt.
I guess it's hard. Well, obviously, the 2021 will probably have an impact because you'll have Tron open in Magic Kingdom.
But then it will be a lot of people's returning trip for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
I know lots of people who aren't going until 2021 because they want to be there for the 50th.
Yeah, but obviously things like that, you'll have Tron and you'll have Ratatouille, and I don't know if Guardians of the Galaxy will be open by then. I can't remember.
Yes, it will be, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously you've got Avatar as well, which was obviously be quite a few years old by that point. But quite a few big rides, relatively new big rides, spread across all of the parks. That'll hopefully spread the load a little bit. But then we're talking 2021, so it's like 2 years after Galaxy's Edge has opened. So
yeah. So what else we got? We've got some food options. So we talked about a couple of them. So we've got things. A chicken dish with roasted vegetable mash and herb gravy. I mean, that doesn't sound experimental to me. The Felucian garden spread, which is a plant-based kefta meatball dish with herb hummus, and tomato cucumber relish with pita bread. The Athorian garden loaf, which is a plant-based meatloaf. Why are these all plant-based? I don't know. Star Wars just means everything needs to be plant-based. But the smoked Caddo ribs, featuring smoked country sticky pork ribs with a blueberry corn muffin and cabbage slaw. The oven roasted burra fish, featuring Dijon crusted sustainable fish with mixed greens, roasted vegetables, blah 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 blah. You got chicken, which we've talked about, noodle salad, chocolate cake with white chocolate mousse, and coffee custard. Yes, ding-a-ling.
Coffee custard.
I'm in.
Okay.
Anything with coffee is a win for me. Docking Bay 7, Food and Cargo has 2 children's menu options. Fried chicken, because that's what they eat in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, with mac and cheese.
Macaroni, mac and cheese. Bloody hell.
They could have come up with a Star Wars sort of name of it for it, couldn't they?
Yeah, I know, exactly. They really could have done. But no, they just called it mac and cheese.
Yeah. So it seems like Docking Bay 7 is the big ET place in Galaxy's Edge. Well, that's the thing. They call it Galaxy's Edge. That's the name of the land. But then it's set on the planet Batuu, and then the actual place is called Black Spire Outpost. Like,
yeah.
How many names do you want for a place? You'll get people calling it.
I know. I think the other thing is I don't think they're being quite as experimental with the food as they look like they're being for the drinks. I think the drinks look really, really cool, like things that I would expect to see in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is they seem to be being served in like really clear glasses, where in reality, like Star Wars is it's usually quite like these cantinas are quite dirty. And I'm not saying the glasses need to be dirty, but often they're served in like metal tumblers in the films and things like that. And I think they might be missing a trick here by just serving them in like fancy glasses.
Right. Okay. So you want to see something more authentic, glassware.
We're believed to be in this place in the Outer Rim that's basically a crap hole. Then why are they serving on like lovely glassware?
They've got standards, you know.
Well,
they may live in the dark, but you know they respect cleanliness.
The Florida safety have got standards rather than business.
Yeah, well,
else on Star Wars, I guess. I mean, the other thing you want. Go on.
I was just going to say the amount of shops and restaurants they've got in this place. Not granted, they're not all big shops, they're not all big restaurants, but they've got 7 shops, and that they've announced 7 shops and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ET places, all in this area. Yeah, like take some out and put another ride in. You obviously got the space.
Well, so many shops, but I guess they're all going to be full, aren't they? I mean, remember when Harry Potter opened and you couldn't move in any of the shops? I think it's going to be the same.
Oh, definitely. You know, they're trying to cash in as much as they can, really.
Yeah.
They're selling, you know, ultimately, you know, you've got, what is it? Custom built droids, custom built lightsabers. There's one that just says mysterious and rare items, which to me says expensive things. I think so. Creatures, and then you've got the toys, and then you've got one that sells badges, hats, pins, other accessories, and then you've got the clothing one. So they're not overlapping, at least by the sound of it. Which I think is something that you do see a lot in Harry Potter. You see a lot of the same stuff in all the shops. Yeah, you do. I'm assuming the one that's going to basically have expensive stuff will be like some of the stuff you can buy that's quite expensive right now, like the cast signed photos. Right, yeah. That props from the movie, even maybe something like that. Props from the TV show that they're making. Yeah, they don't really go into much detail about what you can actually buy in these places. In that one in particular, there's no specifics. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on before we move on to something else was that Disney is apparently considering selling fast passes for Galaxy's Edge. And one, it doesn't surprise me, and 2, I would probably pay for one if I'm being totally honest, because I'd much rather get on the attractions and pay, I don't know, even $100 for a fast pass to go on both attractions,
do those attractions, and then just go and enjoy the land. I'd much rather do that than have to spend 10 hours of my day queuing.
Oh no, definitely. I think you know, and really, I didn't realize that they offer this at a lot of other parks already. They offer some kind of paid fast pass option. So it certainly wouldn't surprise me that they bring it to Disney World, considering they've already got it at the other parks, and obviously Star Wars is prime opportunity to do that, almost like a prime excuse for them to introduce it, because they know it's going to be ridiculously busy. Everyone knows it's going to be ridiculously busy. So why not cash in on that, essentially?
I think so. If the option is there and it's within my price range, I will pay it 100%, and it wouldn't surprise me if Disney introduced it. Hans has just asked, using Star Wars as an inspiration, then what meals would you guys serve instead? That is a very, very good question.
I was trying to think of what we actually see them eat in the films. I can't really think. And they eat in like the first film, don't they? Episode 4, and I can't really remember what they eat. I feel like it was just like rice or something along those lines.
See, I would have street vendors serving things that looked like the creatures that Sebulba ate in episode 1.
Right,
the ones that are just like hanging off like the clothesline kind of esque things that Jar Jar accidentally eats. I would make my food look like that, and obviously it's not. Obviously, it would still be chicken, it would still be sausage, whatever it might be. But you could make sausage meat look like anything, really. It doesn't have to be in some kind of like sausage format in its current existence. You could put that meat into a mold that makes it look like some kind of alien. Now that's what I would do, and I would turn my varied meats into something that looked like I was eating an alien, because I'm supposed to be in a galaxy far, far away. Why am I seeing rice, and why am I seeing steak? Why am I seeing pita breads in a place where that stuff shouldn't exist? So
I mean, they could even sell the turkey legs, but advertise them as another creature.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one of the things because one of the things they're going to serve at Cat Saka's Kettle is popcorn.
Right. I mean, it's quite uninspiring, and I get it, because a lot of theme park guests, if they see sausage meat looking like an alien, they're going to go ugh, and not bother trying it. But I think
the poo that they served at somewhere, was that
Animal Kingdom? And it was at the sweet shop that we went into, and they have got a little bakery in there. And at one point, they served like brownies that looked like animal dung, and it was different shapes, but depending on the animal. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was really clever.
Yeah.
But the theme park guests kicked off about it, because why? I mean, I don't know why, and they stopped doing it. And I think it's a real shame, because they don't experiment enough now with their theme park food. I want to see different food. Yeah, fair enough. You know, you've got to have chicken nuggets for kids, or macaroni and cheese, or even a couple of safe options on the menu for people that aren't into stuff like that. But be experimental with a couple of the menu items and make them look a little bit different, and make me feel like I'm eating in a galaxy far, far away and not in Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost, when you see the food, I've only just thought of this, when you see the food in the pictures that they've got on the D23 website, it looks like the food that they serve at Jurassic Park. In the original film, when you see that, it looks just like it.
Yeah.
When they're going through like the preview show in Jurassic Park film, and they've got these like chefs showing off their food, it's just like it.
Yeah, it's not very inspiring at all. So that would be what I would do, Hans, is I would just make the food look a little bit more like I was eating some kind of alien creature. So moving on from Galaxy's Edge, we're going to talk about the Disney Fox merger briefly. And so apparently things are now proceeding as planned with the Disney Fox merger, after some kind of halting in Brazil, of all places, due to some kind of soccer arrangement. So this deal should be
it was a dispute over Fox Sports broadcasting rights, wasn't it? That's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Um,
So the deal apparently is now proceeding, and it should be finalised within the next couple of weeks. Now, with that in mind, what would you, or what would we like to see as the first act of the Fox Disney merger? For me, I would like to see Disney not release the current Dark Phoenix movie. I think they should just throw that in the bin because it looks awful. They should first destroy it in the bin, and then they should add a cameo from a new X-Men team, including Wolverine, at the end of Avengers Endgame.
right. Okay. I mean, that would be a bit tight in terms of time.
Oh, it wouldn't.
Would it? Would
They've
it not?
got until like May to film that. Get them
Yeah,
casted.
it depends where it says the post there says could be finalised in weeks, like multiple weeks.
Well, okay. What they could do then is they could just get a bunch of people with like the X-Men outline, and just have that shot at the end. So they wouldn't even have to have cast them by then.
True.
But I can't wait for Disney to take X-Men back because Fox have completely ruined it.
Yeah, and I think obviously we've seen loads of superhero movies coming out of Disney, and they've all been amazing. So they could certainly do a lot of good with the X-Men franchise. Definitely.
Yeah, they could.
Just as long as they keep the they're not all R-rated, or in America they're R-rated. Like the likes of Deadpool, essentially more than anything else. Yeah.
I think Bob Iger has already said that he will.
Yeah, I think they came out recently and said basically, we're not looking to change any of that. And you think, well, why would they? Yes, it's Disney, but at the end of the day, all these franchises exist, and Deadpool makes a lot of money. They're not gonna change that, are they? They're going to try and mess with that combination.
No, I don't think so. So I'd like to see them. I mean, and hopefully with the acquisition of Fox, which means a whole host of things for TV and streaming, which is why they've done it. They've not done it for X-Men. They've not done it for Deadpool, and they've not done it for the Fantastic Four or sport. They've done it for streaming rights. They've done it for franchises like Alien, Avatar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why they've done it. But yeah, I'd like to see them making a move on some of the X-Men and Mutant films, as well as Fantastic Four. But can we please finally get a Fantastic Four movie that isn't crap?
I don't know if there's ever been a movie, is there?
No, let's hope it's on the way.
Yeah.
So that's the Disney Fox merger. And then finally is just well, by the way, we're going to be finishing in around 5 or so minutes. So if any of you have got any questions for us, then please send them over within the next couple of minutes before we head off. So finally, we're going to be talking about the Hagrid Media event, which sounds pretty odd now that I've put it into a title like that. But we're talking about Universal's new Hagrid coaster. And just a very brief note to say that Dan and I are heading to London, not this Monday, but Monday the 11th. I believe. So, yes, Hans, we will be on Apex shortly. We're heading over to London to go to a media event for Hagrid's new coaster in Universal Orlando. So yeah, it was just a heads up to let you guys know we will be heading over there. If you're about London on the day, let us know. But yeah, we're heading over there in the evening, and we will, assuming, be getting more details on exactly what that ride is going to include. Hopefully, we'll get some new stuff that hasn't been released before. But we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, there was mention of. It sounded like it wasn't just for Hagrid. It was kind of like the Harry Potter area as a whole, possibly. Which, and obviously they announced the other day that there's going to be the new show. I can't remember what they called it, but the new villain show on the Harry Potter castle. Obviously in the Hogsmeade area. So whether there'll be mentions of that Maybe. I don't think they
Hopefully
set
we'll
a
get
date
some.
for that, did they? They just said later in the year.
Yeah,
So-
so hopefully as part of this, we'll get some news on the coaster and maybe some other Harry Potter stuff as well. So yeah, if you have any questions that you'd like us to ask guys at Universal, we will aim to ask as many as we can. So yeah, just let us know in the comments either here on Facebook or on YouTube when we upload the video. For those of you watching on YouTube, so that's it for this week's live show. Please go and follow the podcast, which is completely separate to this show. Just go to our website, and then also go to iTunes, search for. Hans said, "Have you been to events like this before? And what are you doing to prepare for it?" Good question, Hans. No, this is our first media event. We talk to media mostly over email, but we've never been to an actual event. Unfortunately, we couldn't make an event to see the huge Peppa Pig news that was happening at Pontins Park here in the UK not long ago.
Pontins Park? Did you say, or Pontins?
One of the two. I can't remember.
I think it was Pontins, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Or Polton.
I mean, it was so. I mean, the Peppa Pig news was so huge that I just couldn't make it. We couldn't find ourselves to make it. Also, randomly during the email that I was reading on Peppa Pig, Momo popped up, and I don't know what happened there. But anyways, it's our first media event. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
I have no idea.
Oh dear. And it's the first media event. We are going to be thinking about some questions that we could ask, which is why we're taking a whole day off rather than just heading over to London for when it starts in the evening. Also, they're serving cocktails, so I'll be game for
Ryan will be there at rope drop.
Yeah, I'll be rope dropping the cocktails. So yeah, on that note, thanks for watching this week's live show. We will be back next week for another live show, and in the meantime, go and check us out on iTunes, Theme Park Trader, and we will be sharing another podcast on Monday.
Yeah, right? I think
Monday?
we're podcasting. No, live next Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the similar sort
next
of time,
Saturday,
I guess.
Yeah. It probably will be about the same time. Yeah. And on next Saturday, we'll be talking about the cocktails, what we drank, how many I drank, and what they were.
No, we won't.
So, no, we won't. It's the weekend after. We'll be talking about that.
Smooth.
I'm on one now. That's what it's the problem.
It's all gone downhill.
It's all gone now.
It started pretty low down the hill anyway, so.
It did, yeah. Well, we're still working out the kinks of this. We know there's been some sound issues and things like that, but we will get there, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm just ending the broadcast because
I'm just going to keep waving until you end the broadcast.
Just keep.
Otherwise, it's